Okay, it looks like it's working. Share screen. Yeah, let's share screen.
I feel like my blood pressure's low.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
I am. Hi.
Hi. I feel like Minnie Mouse.
You feel like Minnie Mouse? Oh, hello.
My poofy hair.
Hello.
Growing bangs out.
Hi, guys. Oh, hi, Bo. Hi, Jazz. Hi, everybody.
I think I need my purple pen
All right.
for this.
Yeah, of course, a purple pen. That's my favorite color to write with.
Yes.
Hi, everybody.
Ooh, get a notebook, get a pen.
Marco
Welcome, everybody.
Say hi, bud. Hi. Say hi to Butt. Wait, let me find
Paula says that the meeting code number equals 55.
Really?
55 is the number of big life change, you guys. We've got something big brewing here. Pop on. Hello, everybody. We are live. Let me tell Turbotron.
Hey, will this be recorded? I'm driving. This is Sherry. Thank you.
Yep.
Yay.
Hi, Paula. Hey, Sam.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Sylvan. Hey, Sheena. Sheena's here.
Hey.
Greta's here. Ash is here. Andra's here. Sherry's here. Hello, everybody. Oh, look, we got more coming in. Great. Oh my God, I'm so excited and I sort of feel like I might puke. That's the energy of today. Hi, beautiful. What's your shirt under? What's on your shirt, Kala?
Oh, it says "Look like a beauty, kickbox like a beast."
Hey.
Nice.
Lily's watching Beauty and the Beast right now. I thought that's what it said.
Oh, of course she is. Of course she is. Oh, look, I got a new dragon.
Oh, that's what I was seeing. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, finally got her.
I love it.
I'm going to go on mute unless you need me, Brooke.
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and see if there's anyone else to admit, and then I'm going to put everybody on mute. All right. Joining. I think I've let everybody in. All right, I love you guys. I'm going to mute you all, though, because I am real ADD, and every little noise, I'm like off on some other tangent. Okay. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. Welcome, everybody. If you can, in the comment section, just tell everybody where you're coming from. I'm going to, cool, we're already recording? Yes. Man, I'm on top of it today. I love it. Okay. Canada, where else are you from? I'm in Montana right now. We've got snow already. It's beautiful. Got a couple more people coming in. Welcome. Maryland, Montana. Ooh. How many people are feeling called home to these northern areas? So much snow, yeah. You guys, I am so excited for this call. This is something that has been brewing in my heart and in my being for a few days now. You know, my true life purpose, my whole reason why I am here is to bring people back to their power, to bring people back to their sovereignty. And so that's what this call is about today. It's about really tapping you into the truth of who you are, your power, your purpose, your mission here, and your willpower as well. Okay. Oh, we've got someone in New Mexico, upstate New York, Southern California, San Francisco. Wow, we are all over the place. Look at this. And all of you are the courageous ones, the ones that are willing to be here today to do a deep dive. So what we're going to be doing today is really similar to what I would do with a coaching client one-on-one, but we're going to do it in a group format as a family. And I really like that. I really like that because there's power in the collective. There's power in doing something together as a group and in casting this intention. And so before we go any further, I want to thank you for your courage. I want to tell you how much I admire you and your willingness to show up and to be here today. Okay? Because it takes something. It takes something to be willing to look at, the parts of yourself that maybe have been running on autopilot, parts of yourself that you haven't wanted to, admit are there. Sheena, how many times are you connecting, girlfriend? I see her face everywhere. Okay. Awesome. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, cool. It feels kind of weird, like not hearing anything, but I seriously get so distracted. So I'm going to get out of the way. Actually, I'm going to let whatever is meant to come through here today come through. And I'm just kind of getting the energy of some things. Wow. Some energy of some things that are going on right now. You guys, have got to tell you, I'm going to show you these cards, but they just came out in the reverse. This is what is ending here today. That was what I was asking the cards, like, what are we going to get out of this call today? What's going to end as a result of this? If you're willing to really plug in, and you guys, this is energetic, and when we're working with energy, the change is instant. The thing that takes a while is getting ready to be willing to change. All right? Like, can everyone agree with that? Like, the actual change, the shift happens fast. Shoot, man, Pam, you stood up and just walked yesterday because you decided to, and it was time, and there you are. Like that. It didn't take anything to actually begin to walk. You just did it, right? But how long does it take to get ready to be willing to even try? So make a decision to actually be here today and to get out of this what is actually available for you. All right, there is a breakthrough possible here that is going to rock your world. And if you're willing to lean into it, if you're willing to show up and be honest, be open-minded, and be willing to do the work, whatever the work is that's going to come out here today, okay? If you're willing to do that, you can have an entirely different reality on the other end of this call. We're talking like within an hour. By this afternoon, a new reality, a new way of relating to yourself and the world around you, a new way of, working with the energy and knowing that you truly are the powerful creator of your life. All right, so this is what's ending here today. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna show you upright so you can see, but they all came out upside down, which means they're ending. Anxiety. How many people here are dealing with anxiety right now? Yeah, I see y'all with notebooks out. I see you writing. People that are committed to transformation show up and they do the work. You guys, we pull out a pen and paper because you can't lie to yourself when you put it down in black and white. All right, my head tries to do all this crazy stuff, this anxiety stuff, and it'll go off in 19,000 different directions. But when I put something down, a pen and paper, I can get to the truth of what's actually so. All right, we're going to end anxiety today. By the way, you're anxious because you're not tapped into your sovereignty. You haven't acknowledged that you are the powerful co-creator of your life. That's it. It's the only reason why. So we're going to tap you into that today, and this is going to be turned off like a light switch. Poof, gone. Deceit. Deceit is ending today. Now, the question is, who has been deceptive? Ooh, who in your life has been deceptive? And we're going to take a deep dive today, you guys, because what I realized is that everything that happens in my world, number one, is the product of my perception. What you perceive, you receive. You literally have lenses that you look at the world through, and they alter what you're seeing. So we could all literally, all of us that are on this call right now, we could all go experience the same thing. Jasmine, Colin, and I, we went on this great retreat last year. We were all in the same place. Okay? We were all in this beautiful river with this hot spring. It was gorgeous, this blue hot spring. I wasn't going to touch it, you guys. It was visibly boiling. I wasn't going to touch it. But they know where I'm going with this. Okay, there's 9 of us here. We're at this river. 9 and then a really grumpy person. And then a park ranger. So 11 of us. There's 11 of us at the river. It's the same river. Everybody's there. Everybody that was there had a totally different experience of what happened. Totally different experience. Now, my experience was I saw a beautiful river. I saw fly fishermen in the river, like doing their thing. I saw a pretty hot spring. And I thought, I'm not going to touch the boiling water, duh. But I want to feel the water. I want to feel the water running past me. So I pulled my shoes off like I do at every river I see. And I'm walking through the river. And I'm in a part of the river where there's enough water flowing off the hot spring that it feels like bath water. It's totally comfortable. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. I'm in like the Goldilocks zone of the river. And then this angry ass park ranger comes up and tells me I'm going to boil myself alive. And how dare I do that? And screams at me to get out of the river. She threatened to call the police. She stood there and waited for me to put my shoes and socks back on, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to stand barefoot. We've got Jazz and Kala like, oh. This is wild. Okay, so we were all at this river, and I had this experience of being really one with nature. And there were other people there that had this experience of being really frustrated and really angry, right? So your perception, whatever you are, the lenses that you're looking at your life through, your point of view, totally dictates your reality and your experience of the present moment. And so today we're going to put an end to deceit. Because a lot of us have been looking through some lion glasses, some lion ass lenses. I know, it's just coming through. It's going to be ridiculous. Good luck. Okay, we're going to end deceit. How many places have you been deceitful? Towards yourself. Towards yourself. How many places have you been lying to you? All right, we're going to end that shit today. You can't create your life like the one you're actually here to live that's going to light you up. It totally doesn't look like my life, by the way. You can't create that if you're lying to yourself. And then the last card, the third thing that we are busting through today are broken hearts. How many people here have had a broken heart? Yeah. You guys, I believe in transparency and honesty, and y'all, I am a late degree Pisces. I was born 52 minutes before it moved into Aries, and I'm about as emotional as they get. And truth be told, I cried all night on Saturday and all Sunday morning, and that's why I canceled yesterday's calls. Because I too am an emotional shit show sometimes, and sometimes I hit a wall and I need to go take a break. Okay, like, you're so not alone. All right. And you know what? It would have been deceitful for me towards myself had I like forced myself to show up or forced myself to push when I wasn't in the right energy space. That would have led, like, the thought of trying to carry out a call was actually creating a great deal of anxiety for me because I wasn't in a position to actually be able to handle it. All right, so anxiety, a lot of times, is just a warning sign. It's like a light on the gauge, like a, thank you so much, babe, on the dashboard of your car, right? It's a warning light. And what anxiety is saying when anxiety is going off, it's saying one of a few things. Either I'm believing a lie that's not true, okay? Like, I've got some thought going through my head, my mean girl's going off and she's saying some stuff that isn't true, because things that aren't true make you feel like shit. Okay? They make you feel small. They make you feel squeamish, stuck and squished. All right, so I'm believing something that's not true if I'm anxious. Or I'm ruminating over stuff that I have no control over. You're only anxious because you think it should go a certain way and it should look a certain way. And you guys, expectation is the seed of all resentment. Resentment is anger and guilt and shame and frustration that you carry around with you like a weighted down backpack. And it will blot out your existence. In the 12-step rooms, they say that resentment is the number one offender, that when you carry around that crap, that is the thing that takes the lives of more people than anything else. And why? Because when you're carrying around all of this baggage, and you guys, we're going to really dive in today, okay? When you're carrying around all of this baggage, it creates dis-ease, lack of ease. And that is where all disease stems from, is from dis-ease, from lack of ease with yourself. With yourself, not with anything out here. When you are congruent with you, when you are tapped into yourself and your source, everything else begins to run smoothly. And the whole reason why we see so many people sick, depressed, addicted, suicidal, angry, flying off the handle, burning down buildings, breaking shit, thinking they can control other people's bodies, thinking they need to control other people's bodies, living in fear, buying the fear mongering, is because they are completely disconnected from themselves and from their source, and they have forgotten that they are sovereign beings. Okay? Sovereign. All right, I'm gonna share some stuff. Okay, let me see. Let me make sure nobody else is waiting. Okay, good. I'm gonna go ahead and share this screen, you guys. All right. So this is a sovereignty check. I really recommend, and I notice people are doing it right now. By the way, you guys, anytime you're in a mastermind, anytime that you are working on transformation, working on growth, get out a notebook, get out a pen. There's something about the act of writing, physically writing actually with your hand. You can allow yourself, your soul to speak. There's this thing that happens. There's a divine download that can happen, and it will help you to discover the truth of yourself. All right. Additionally, there's the action of moving the pen helps to imprint whatever you're learning into your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is where all learning, behavior, and change takes place. It is unconscious. Right. Yes, automatic writing, exactly. Okay. So to get the most out of this chat, write down each title as a heading on a fresh page. I don't have my notebook here because I'm not going to be writing while I'm leading y'all. I do have a sketchbook. Okay. So you're going to literally turn to a fresh page for each of these and put a heading. Okay. And you're going to write down anything that comes to mind while I'm speaking. And then you are also going to come back later and take some time with yourself and really check in. You're going to come back and do a really deep dive with yourself. Okay. That's how you're going to get the most out of this. Let it go. Okay, so to be a sovereign being, let's talk about what this means. To be a sovereign being means you are the decision maker in your life. I'm going to come back to this. This means that your choices you make for you. You're not looking for buy-in from other people. You are, when you are a sovereign being, you are the one in creative control. Meaning, like, you decide that you'd like to have something in your life, and you actually know how to create it with ease, how to have it show up in your reality. Okay? You are the supreme ruler and the CEO of your life. This means that you are the one that makes the choices. You are the one that does the due diligence. You are the one that is resourceful and gathers the information so you can make the best choices for you. And when you're the CEO, you are the chief executive officer of your life. That means that you get to hire and fire people that are in your circle as needed in order for your life, your company to run the way that it needs to. When you are a sovereign being, you're tapped into your own power and your own inner authority, okay? And give me just a second. I'm going to mute this because my Telegram is blowing up, y'all. Okay, there we go. And it's distracting me. Okay. Now, unfortunately, here's the deal. Most people are actually living in somebody else's kingdom, playing by somebody else's rules. They are not the supreme ruler of their life. They are actually ruled over. And so my question for you today is, what is ruling over you? What controls you, stops you, takes you out of what you want, what you would like to have, what you know is possible? What keeps you small? When you look at your life right now, what is the common thing that you're like, oh man, I would really go do this for myself. I'd really love to have that, but. What are your buts? Okay, so what's that thing for you? And if you could take a moment and in the comment section, I know y'all are writing in your notebooks, but in the comment section, could someone share their buts? What is their thing that stops them? And while y'all come and do that, one of the things that would stop me, I needed to have my mom's approval. I needed my mom to like believe in what I was doing. She was my butt. Wow, I love this new concept. I love this new business. I'm kicking ass. And then I'd call her and I'd listen to her and I would then, yeah, she was a big butt for me. Okay. Partner approval, but I don't want to be vulnerable to those outside my inner circle. Yeah. What else? What other butts do you have? What big butts do you have? More people coming in. Welcome, everybody. So what's the thing that's ruling over you? What stops you? What's the thing that, like, gosh, I so wish I could, but I can't? Are you someone that's like, I can't afford it? Are you someone that's like, I would, but I don't have time, but I don't know how, but I have some injury thing that the doctor said needs to control my life. But I had this thing that happened that, made me different than how I used to be, and now I can't. What's that thing for you? All right. Ooh, being looked down upon or different from other men. That's a good one. Guys, we're going to look into that. How many people, like, you want to do something, but you're afraid of how you'll look to other people? You're afraid of whether or not you'll fit in. Does that stop you? That's a good one. All right, so really look at that for yourself. Money, ooh, good one. And fear of success. Ooh, yes. Not worthy of all of the greatness. Well, today's call is going to tap you into your worthiness and your greatness. Oh, fear of leadership. Can you say more about that? Fear of leadership. By the way, you guys, you are simultaneously a work in progress and a masterpiece simultaneously. Okay. And you've done things, no matter where you happen to be in life right now, you've done things that other people wish that they could do. And your story, your testimony, your energy can be a saving grace and a lifeline and an inspiration for them. Okay. Yeah. Oh, being seen as a leader in transformation. Yep. Not feeling confident, not feeling like I have enough knowledge. Yeah. How many other people deal with a not enoughness? I'm not enough of something. Yeah, totally. I get that. How many people have also dealt with this feeling of like, I'm too much. Too much. If only I was different. Man, they can't handle all of me. Let me like shrink myself. Yeah, you feel that dimming down, fear of the unknown, lack of knowledge. Yeah, you guys, this is so good. This is so powerful to really begin to look at this, because these are the places where you are actually shrinking who you are, where you're robbing yourself and the planet of the power and the greatness and the magic that you truly be. And we're going to dive through this today, and we're going to see, you're going to begin to see that all of the places in your life where other people, when you were growing up, when you look at your little self, all the things that people said were wrong about you when you were younger are actually your areas of genius. They're actually the places where you have magic. And all of the things that you have struggled with the most in your life, all the things that have been most challenging for you, are actually your areas of genius. They're actually the things that you are here to help other people through. Isn't it weird? Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about affirmations. You guys, I do believe in affirmations. I believe in them at a certain point. Okay. I'm going to come back and actually see all your faces for a minute. I'm not a love and light coach. I'm going to show you whatever shit you don't want to look at, coach. Okay, because the truth is you are a light being, but we've had a whole lot of programming and debris and trauma and dis-ease get in the way of that light shining through. And so what happens when this happens and you've got all these different blocks and stuff and it dims your light, what's actually running the show is what's called a shadow self. And a shadow self is just a figment. It's not the real you. It's not the potency of you. It's not the truth of you. It is a shadow. and shadows are dark. Okay, so you are a light being that has some baggage that has caused dark elements of you to come forth. And we need to look at that. And not with judgment, you guys. Look, we got I got baggage, you got baggage, you got shoes, I got shoes, we got issues. It is part of our human condition. It is part of why we're here. We're here for evolution. We're here for growth. Make a game of it. Gosh, wow, isn't it wild? Isn't it wild I picked up that trait or that habit or that whatever? Okay. All right. I'm going to come back to sharing this. So what is killing your magic? Well, first off, how do you know if you have magic working in your life? Well, you ask and you receive. Now, it's not going to show up how you think it's going to, because the universe, the totality of who and what you are, your infiniteness, loves you so much, it actually wants to surprise and delight you. Okay? So let go of right now of thinking that you need to know how something is going to show up. It's seriously a total waste of energy. And it pulls you out of the present moment, and it pulls you out of the gift of right now and the magic and the opportunity that is now. Okay? So what is killing your magic? What's killing your ability to create? Procrastination. Anyone else? No, I only talk about shit I've seen in myself. Like I said, I got issues. All right, procrastination. We'll talk about why you might be doing these things and where it might stem from here in a moment. People pleasing. Anyone else? I am a self-proclaimed people pleaser in recovery. And you know what, guys? Recovery is a daily thing. So sometimes I do really great at it. And other days I don't do so well. Okay? But it's about progress, not perfection. Fear. Dude, fear kills everything. Fear is like glyphosate Roundup on your life. It will get in and kill everything. And it's just false evidence appearing real. It's not even real. Okay? This is one of those places where the deceit has to end. You are deceiving yourself. You say you are afraid of things that are not even real. And if you would turn and face the fear, the death of fear would be imminent, because it is vapor. It is an apparition. It is a faulty belief system and nothing more. When you turn and you actually do the thing, you get into action on it, I promise you, have 20 seconds of courage, go do the damn thing anyway. And in the middle of doing the damn thing, what you're going to realize is that oh, I was totally afraid for no reason. Wow, I'm actually kind of enjoying myself right now. I feel really alive. Okay? Doubt. Anyone ever got a great idea, got a big target, got a huge dream, got a thing that gosh, I think about it and it lights me up. I'm so excited about it, that thing. And you're like, yeah, I'm going for it. And then this little voice creeps in and it starts to say things like, yeah, but it'll never work. Don't you know you never work? Don't you know that you're just going to give up anyway? Yeah, but what if you're not worth it? What if everything falls apart? Doubt. I can't, I won't, I can't, I don't. And worry. How many of you launch a goal, there's actually time for it to come to fruition. Which, by the way, guys, like if it hasn't shown up yet, it's just not quite time, or you haven't done the thing to align with it. All right, doubt, worry. And worry is like, oh my gosh, what if I should have? Oh man, what am I gonna do? And you know what, guys, when you're in this space, you can't create a solution from the same energy that the problem was created. All right. And yeah, it might show up as self-doubt, you guys. It might be like, well, God, am I good enough? Do I know enough? Which by the way, you guys, we've got some killer tools. You don't need to know it all. You know what you do need? You need to be resourceful. We live in the information age. Like we have, look at this. I'm talking on a computer right now, and I actively have 2 computers next to me. And I could literally look up any information, videos on how to do anything on any of these 3 devices right here, right now. So anywhere that you have thought that you don't know enough, you're full of shit. Because we live in the information age and it's readily available if you're willing to go look for it. Let go of that worry. By the way, we have a vehicle that pays you out immediately for work that you do. So if you've got a money worry, let go of that worry and go plug somebody into your campaign. And you literally are paid right now. Okay? Like right now. There's no reason to have that fear anymore. None. Blow it up. Be like Iron Man. Like blast the energy out of your hands. Yeah. Jasmine says it's the fear in self that causes the blocks. Yes. You are not being your sovereign, esteemed, luminous, fierce self. That is why you have the blocks. That is why your magic is dead. Nothing else outside of you. Okay. How sovereign am I? You guys, I want you to be honest. I'm going to go through a big list, and I just want you to put a tally mark. Nothing else, just a tally mark for every one of these statements that's true for you. Okay? And y'all, I had 100% score on this at one point in time, so don't you worry or judge yourself. All right? I'm actually going to stop share. And I'm going to come here and read this to you. Just put a tally. I have difficulty identifying what I am feeling. I have a tendency to minimize, and I'm going to go pretty quick, you guys, okay? So actually, before we go any further, truth. How many of these things are true about me? All right? Truth. How many of these things are true about me? And you guys, when I first start reading it to you, it might feel like, oh, could it be? If I get to the end and you're like, is this true? And you feel any kind of relief, any kind of zing, it's true for you, okay? And I acknowledge it is often hard to admit these parts of you. However, I will tell you, if you were willing to become aware of it, the truth shall set you free. These things can't control you when you become aware of them. All right? So truth. Do you have difficulty identifying what you are feeling? Truth. Do you minimize, alter, or deny how you truly feel? Do you have a tendency to perceive yourself as completely unselfish and dedicated to the well-being of others? Okay, so you're just putting a tally mark. Do you maybe lack empathy? Is it hard for you to feel the feelings and needs of others? Do you have a tendency to label other people with negative traits about yourself? Truth. Truth. Do you think that you can take care of yourself without needing any help from anyone else? Are you like as independent as they come? Are you someone that when you're in pain or when you're sad or when you're upset or when you're frustrated, do you try to mask it? Do you try to cover it up with anger or humor or isolation? Are you, when you are feeling negative or feeling aggressive, do you do it in indirect or passive ways? So like rather than being direct about how I'm feeling, do I maybe try to make a snide comment or get other people on board with dissing the person I'm upset with? Okay. Are you someone, you guys, this is so me back in the day. Truth. Do you recognize how available or unavailable people are that you're attracted to? Do you have a tendency to be attracted to unavailable people? Is maybe another way to ask it. So I'm like, do you have a tendency to get into relationships with people that just can't be there for you? Ooh, yeah. Okay. Put a tally, just a place to look. Truth. Do you have difficulty making decisions for yourself? Do you have a tendency to judge what you think, what you say, and what you do as never good enough? Do you have that thought, I'm not good enough? Do you feel embarrassed when people try to give you recognition or praise or gifts? How does that make you feel? Are you good at receiving? Do you value other people's approval of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're doing over your own approval of yourself? Okay, so this means that like you need other people's buy-in to make a decision or move forward. Is that you? Truth. Do you think that you're lovable and worthy? Okay, so if you do, don't put a tally. If you have a hard time believing that you are lovable or worthy, put a tally. Okay. Are you someone, do you seek recognition or praise to try to feel better, to try to feel like you're enough? Truth. When you make a mistake, is it hard to admit that you made a mistake? Do you need to look like you're right or like you need to look good in front of other people? Is it hard for you to identify what you need and what you want and to ask for it? Okay. So you might be this person if you need something but you don't know what you need, or you know you need something but you're afraid to ask directly. Do you perceive yourself as superior to other people? So the follow-up question to that would be, do you often feel like maybe you're above other people or other people are above you? Do you do this leveling thing? Okay. Do you look to other people to provide your sense of safety? Other people might be, are you looking to your parents, your family, your government, even your job, anything outside of you to have you feel safe? Are you looking to that? Do you have difficulty getting started, meeting deadlines, and completing projects? So a bunch of us raised our hand to the procrastination thing. Put a tally if that's you. Do you have trouble setting healthy priorities and firm boundaries? Truth. Do you have a tendency to be extremely loyal? Have you remained in harmful situations too long? Do you compromise your own values and integrity to avoid rejection or anger? Okay, so this might look like, I know that I value this. This is what's true for me, but I'm so afraid of how someone else will react to me that I'm going to wiggle on who and what I am so I don't have to deal with their reaction. Okay, that's you. Just put a tally. How often do you put aside your own interests in order to do what other people want? I'm not saying that this is a bad thing sometimes, but are you doing that all the time? Are you always putting yourself on a back burner? Are you hyper vigilant regarding the feelings of others? And do you take on those feelings? Are you a super empath? Yeah, I see some hands. Me too, guys. Hashtag me too. Are you afraid to express your beliefs, opinions, or feelings when they differ from the people around you's beliefs, opinions, and feelings? You guys, we live in a pretty vicious culture. It kind of makes sense that you might have some hesitation there, but are you afraid to express yourself around your inner circle? Do you, truth, do you accept sexual attention when what you really want is love? Do you give up your truth, what is true for you, to gain the approval of others or to avoid change? So this would be like, the truth is, you know that your body is asking for you to make some shifts. Maybe you need more water, more movement, more sleep. But in order to not mess with the status quo or rock the boat, to avoid the change, you don't do it. Okay. Do you believe that people are incapable of taking care of themselves? Do you attempt to convince others what to think, do, or feel? So if you've noticed, we're kind of on a different end of the spectrum now. It goes both ways. Are you someone that freely offers advice and direction without being asked? Are you an unsolicited advice person? Do you become resentful when others decline your help or reject your advice? Are you someone that likes to give gifts and lavish favors on people that you want to influence? Do you maybe give gifts and things like that in order to gain approval? In order to is the key phrase here. Do you have to feel needed in order to have a relationship with other people? Truth. How many places in your life have you been demanding that your needs be met by another person outside of yourself? So I'm going to say this one again, and I want you to, like, real quick, let your unconscious mind scan your work, your relationships, your love life, okay? Your own self-care, your own well-being. How many places, your financial life, how many places have you been demanding that your needs be met by someone else outside of you? Where are you using charm and charisma to convince others of their capacity? Like, where are you using your charm and charisma to intentionally sway or manipulate people? You guys, all of these things can be gift or curse, depending on how they're working in your life, okay? And we're going to get real clear on it. Do you often feel indifferent, helpless, or do you use rage to manipulate outcomes? Do you pretend to agree with other people to get them to like you or to get what you want? So you guys, I used to do this. I used to actually I'd be at a party and I would wait to hear what other people would say, so then I would know how to respond so that they would like me. I totally didn't like myself. Okay. Do you judge other people and what they do harshly? Do you judge yourself harshly? Do you find yourself maybe avoiding emotional or physical or sexual intimacy in order to maintain distance and keep yourself safe? Yeah. Do you use, on the opposite end of the spectrum, do you vulnerability vomit? Are you like, hey, here's all my crazy, when someone new walks into your life? What? Can you handle it? Do you do that? Do you allow addictions to people, places, things, energies, procrastination keep you from achieving intimacy in your relationships? Are you indirect or evasive to avoid conflict? Do you suppress your feelings? Do you like to pull people close to you, but then when they get close, you push them away? I know, right? God, why am I so lonely all the time? Well, that's why, guys. You're pulling them in, and then you're keeping them at arm's distance. Okay? Yeah, this is me. Yes. Gosh, guys. Do you believe truth? Do you believe that displays of emotion are a sign of weakness? And is it hard for you to express appreciation? Okay. So I'm going to check the comments. Big people pleaser. Yeah, I wear my feelings on my sleeve. Yeah, doubt has been my issue. Difficulty making decisions, indecisive. This is me. Yeah. Y'all are in good company. Okay. Again, I don't share anything that I haven't dug in deep on myself. So just take a look. What was your score? Maybe pop into the comment section if you're willing to share. And let us know, what was your score? How do I get back to comments? Participants? No. Where did they go? Oh, there we go. It popped up. Thanks, guys, for chatting. Yeah. Okay, so I skipped over a few of them, but there's actually 55 on that list. And when I first took this as an honest inventory with myself, I was doing 53 of these things. Okay. I was super out of my power. I was not sovereign at all. I was completely codependent. 26, 25, 34, 36. Didn't keep a track, but still have a lot to do. Yeah. I'll post the full PDF, you guys. This is direct from the coda.org website. That is Codependence Anonymous. It's a 12-step program that has some really great stuff if you're looking to create great relationships and get yourself out of the fire swamp of trauma and drama. Okay. Because the number one reason why people are addicted and caught up in these systems of dis-ease is because they've become codependent with someone else outside of them. Okay. So I will share that with you. I've used a ton of different things to help me grow in my life, and that is one of the things. Yeah, so coda.org, Jennifer, if you'd love to do it. There are meetings around the world. Not sure how it's working with COVID, but it's probably online now, which might actually be better. And there's a book and sponsors, etc. Okay. You guys, 12-step program saved my life. I used to be a raging addict. I was addicted because I was so codependent and so tapped out of myself and my source that I needed some way to numb out the pain of what I was feeling. It was bad. I was suicidal. It was not okay. All right. So if you've been in that place, I see you. Me too. You're not alone. And, you know, you're here for a reason and in good company. We are reclaiming our power. All right. So where did you land on this scale? How sovereign are you? Now, I'm not going to give you any numbers here because when you're codependent, there are these other things that will, like, you're on either end of a big spectrum. Okay. When you are a sovereign being, you'll find that there's this middle line where you are congruent, where you are right sized. You're not too much, you're not too little. It's like the Goldilocks zone. Okay. So that 55 criteria, some of those were about being really codependent. Some of those were about being way too independent. And neither one are really the sweet spot for success and happiness and connection and really what you're here for. All right. So this sweet spot is actually interdependent. And codependent means I'm enmeshed with other people. I need their buy-in to make decisions, to feel like I'm enough. Or you might feel like I need to be in control. I need to know exactly how something's going to happen. I need to know the details. I need people to show up a certain way for me to feel okay. Right? Should have done these backwards. Independent. I'm so independent that I'm a lone wolf. It's me, myself, and I. Okay? And when you're on this end of the spectrum, your priority is usually yourself and whether or not you are winning. But it doesn't leave much room for other people. It's real focused on the I, and there's no I in team, right? This shift and this new energy that we're moving into is really going to require us to realize our interdependence. And what that means is that I am a sovereign being. I trust my inner authority. I am guided by self. I am sovereign, esteemed, luminous, and fierce. I recognize and appreciate my interdependence, meaning I realize that I am a sovereign being and you are a sovereign being. And I make my choices and I have free will, and you make your choices and you have free will. And we are interdependent. What I do sends out a ripple effect into the world. What you do sends a ripple effect out into the world. Now, my responsibility is how do I react to your ripple coming at me? Okay. When you are a sovereign being, you are not at the mercy of other people around you. They can be doing what they do. You recognize that your responsibility is your reaction. Okay. And you recognize that other people are sovereign beings too. They are on their own journey. All right. So I'm going to come back. Love this. Yeah, you guys, I've been on both sides too. And it's time to be interdependent. It's time to actually recognize that I am powerful. I'm a powerful creator. You are a powerful creator. Together, we are really way more powerful and we can co-create something spectacular. Okay. This is really the sweet spot and the magic. And we're going to talk about why we were pulled away from this knowing of our sovereignty and this knowing of our interdependence. And it's pretty disgusting and malicious. Okay. Okay. We're going to start to talk about some heavy stuff. I see Jasmine breathing through it. Yep. I want to give you guys some ways to blast through this energy. This is an energetic thing. And like I said, you can have a breakthrough here. All right. Everybody kind of does this their own way, but your imagination is the key. Your ability to trust that what you're visualizing, what you're imagining, what you're declaring is real and true is the key. Okay. So you can use your breath. Jasmine was just doing that. So take a deep breath with me now. All the way in, feel the air, fill all the cells of your being, and then out. And on the exhale, feel the release of the stress and allow it to flow. Okay. And breathe in. And as you breathe in, pull all of the darkness and the gunk up through your being into your lungs. Blow the energy out like you're blowing up a balloon in front of you. Now that energy is no longer part of you. Okay? Realize that this is not who I am. This was just something inside of me. And now that the energy is in a bubble in front of you and it's not within your being, you can pop it. Okay? And just picture the balloon or the bubble popping like a balloon or a bubble if you were blowing bubbles with a kid. No, they just pop and they're gone. Okay? Sometimes I like to visualize that I light it on fire. I watch it become a flaming inferno and turn to ash and blow away. Sometimes I'll use Iron Man hands and I'll like blast energy at it. Okay. So anytime something is feeling stuck or is feeling heavy for me, I'll take a deep breath and you can do it with me. Ready? We're going to count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to blast the energy. Okay. So deep breath. 1, 2, 3, whoosh, like that. Okay. And that will begin to get the energy flowing again. Just this simple action of popping a bubble, blasting the energy. You can have your magic wand and you can pop it. You can like blow the energy up out of you and then wad it up like a piece of trash. Like that. And then like literally chuck it in the fuck it bucket. Okay. The fuck it bucket, by the way, is this magical trash can with this fire, this violet flame, that whatever you chuck in the fuck it bucket, it transmutes it and it's gone and it's done. Okay. And we're talking, you can do this with anything that comes up and you just got to trust your imagination. The information might come through in a lot of different ways as we go through this. You might get, I'm going to take this off for a minute. You might get a flash of a vision. You might get a feeling in your body. You might hear some words come in. Someone's voice might pop up. A memory might pop up. A memory from another lifetime might pop up. Okay? Notice how it's feeling in your body. Things that make you feel like shit, that feel heavy, that feel contracted, that, I'm gonna die, are not true for you. They are a lie. Throw all lies in the fuck it bucket. Blow them all up. Destroy them. Okay? And what's actually going to happen in you doing this, as we set this intention now, it is as you blow it up, you are going back to the very moment in time where that thing became a thing. And you are destroying and you are uncreating it at that moment in time where the root started. And then you're going to trust that that thing is done. And you are going to stop replaying the story. Because one of the things that keeps people stuck is like things have already shifted. The people in their life have already changed. The environment has changed. The financial reality has changed. Shit has changed. But you're playing the same old tape over and over and over. And you're repeating the same shit story. And so you have the wrong like glasses on. You're looking at through the wrong thing. All right. And all you need to do is blow up the energy and shift the story, and your whole reality is going to be different. What you focus on expands. So ditch the shitty story. The ones that make you feel like crap. They go in the fuck it bucket. Yeah, but that's the way it's been for my whole family. Well, throw it into the fuck it bucket for your whole family. Because your decision to do that, it literally, wherever it started, it will go back in time and it will blow it up at that moment. So if it was some crap that's been ancestral and it has been passed down through the chains genetically, through your family line, you are the intercessor and the chain breaker, and you can break it. And then your deal is stop repeating it. Stop being it. Stop perpetuating it. Stop saying it's true and real, because it is only true and solid and real if you say it is. But I'm broke and I don't have enough time. Well, because you believe that to be true. Oh, before we go any further, they want me to tell you this story. So there was this guy named Frank. And Frank was, well, first off, there was this guy named Frank who was a contractor in Denver. Don't hire him. There was this guy named Frank, and Frank was the self-professed unluckiest guy in the world. And that was the story he repeated. And everybody that would ask Frank, hey, Frank, you lucky today? Oh, I'm not lucky any day. I'm the unluckiest man in the world. And so it was like actually this running joke of the town that he was in. They're like, yeah, that's Frank. He's the most unlucky ever. And so there was this whole story, right, that like he had bought into is true and real. And, his wife and TV producer got kind of curious, and they were like, is Frank really the most unlucky person on the planet? Or is he maybe contributing to this? And so they set up a camera and a series of events to test Frank's unluckiness. And what they actually did is they set up a whole bunch of opportunities for him to win. And they just wanted to see if he would even see it. And so the first thing was they knew it was a winner. They'd already checked it, like scanned it. They knew it was a winning scratch off lotto ticket. And they taped it to his front door. And he comes home, and on camera, he takes the winning scratch off ticket off the door and he throws it in the trash. He doesn't even scratch it. Like, come on, bro. So then he's driving down the road, and there's this truck in front of him all of a sudden. And on the back of the truck, it says, Frank, call this number. You've won. Doesn't even notice it. Doesn't see it. And a few other things happen. He's walking. They place a $100 bill on the ground in front of him in the parking lot, and he doesn't see it. He walks right over it. So finally, his wife takes him on a hike out in the desert, and they're in the middle of the desert, and it's just all nature. This is the thing that finally gets him. They carry a billboard across the desert in front of him. And it says, Frank, you're a winner, call. And he finally calls. And they call him in and they bring him in and they show him this video of all these places that he had an opportunity to win. He literally had a golden ticket. And because of his perception, because of his story, because he believed his unluckiness, he literally couldn't see it. Your perception creates your reality. In any given moment, there are 2 million bits of information per second, you guys. 2 million bits of information per second available for your energetic antenna of a being and a body to receive. Your perceptions, your paradigm, your point of view, your belief system, these are all different ways to say the same thing, determines which of those bits of information you will actually take in, notice. Okay? So of those 2 million bits of information, what your conscious mind can actually become aware of. It's like if the sky was raining toothpicks and there's 2 million toothpicks per second falling from the sky, your perceptions and your judgments and your traumas and your belief systems and your paradigm will have you reach out and grab certain toothpicks. And you can only grab 126 of those 2 million per second. And the reason why at the river in Yellowstone, I was like tapped into nature and in my zone, and that park ranger chick had a toothpick or something bigger somewhere, was because we had a different perception and we were grabbing different toothpicks in the moment. The only thing that is making you lucky or unlucky, successful or unsuccessful, stuck or not stuck, is your own perception and the toothpicks. The only reason why some people are more successful in life, why some people have tapped into like ridiculous flows of abundance and other people have not. Same world, same reality, same opportunities available, is because of their perception, their paradigm, their belief system, and what toothpicks they're choosing to be aware of. And you guys, it happens, this is unconscious, okay? You're not consciously aware. You're not like, oh, I'm gonna go pick out this toothpick. It happens automatically. It happens unconsciously. It happens without your control. So the place where you do have control is you have control of your conscious mind, and your conscious mind can tell your unconscious what to do. So we're going to dive in a little bit, and your conscious mind can tell your unconscious mind to be done with something. And when we blow up the bubble and we blow it out, we don't even need to label it. I don't need to know that it was Bobby's mom that said that made me feel this way. I just need to know that I feel this way, and I can like pull it up and blow it out and pop it or blast it. And this is a physical signal to from my conscious mind, from the one that makes the choices, the captain of the ship. It is a signal to my unconscious mind, be done with it. And my unconscious mind is a dutiful servant. It will do what my conscious mind tells it to do every time. Oh, I just got chills. That's the truth. Yeah. I'm going to say that again because that was true. My unconscious mind will do what my conscious mind tells it to do every time. Okay? So when you blow something up and you declare it done, it's done, unless you keep going back to that chapter and picking up the book again. Burn the book. Start a new one. You're the author of the story. Okay? All right. So you're going to put these just at the top of a page. And I really want you to come back and I want you to take a look, maybe rewatch this. And I just want you to do a deep dive with yourself, okay? And there might be some things that come up now that are ready to be looked at. There might be some things that come up over the coming days. And while I talk about this, you might have some things that just flow, all right? There's a beauty and a curse in being a baby. Gosh, here you are. You're infinite being. You are stardust. You are light energy. And you're in a physical form. If you're like me, I popped into this body and I was like, shit, we're here again? Damn. Okay? But we're here to explore, we're here to grow, we're here to learn, we're here to evolve. We're here to expand into the greatness and the fullness and the truth of who and what we are. However, we are born into the most helpless bodies in the animal kingdom. Except for like maybe a kangaroo. Okay? We're helpless. We're so dependent on everyone outside of us to literally keep us alive. And that's beautiful because there's innocence and there's so much growth and development and magic that happens from the time you're born till the time you become an adult. And it's an amazing journey. However, you're dependent on the people around you for your care, your well-being, your nourishment, your sustenance, your protection. And how many of us, just raise your hand, if maybe you were born into a family that wasn't the healthiest? How many of y'all maybe didn't have everything that you needed to be a happy, healthy, well-adjusted, well-rounded little kid? How many of y'all had like maybe some pretty major serious trauma shit happen? Yeah. Yeah, y'all, we're in good company. And this is truly the, the space of where humanity is at and what we're here to overcome, what we're here to shift. As a collective, we are the chain breakers. We are here to literally create something different. We're here to end those patterns. Now, here's the problem though, because you're a baby and you gotta like look outside yourself for everything that you need, you learn to do that with everything. One of the things that the brain does is it generalizes. And so you actually just automatically, unconsciously learn that because I needed help from someone else when I was a baby, I forever need help from someone else. So I should forever be looking for someone outside of me to take care of me. And we don't have anything really in our cultures that is like a ceremony. I'm missing the word right now. Hopefully it'll come back. We don't do like ceremonial things to help people move into the next chapter, into the next stage of their existence. So there's never really a shut off switch where you go from like pleasing other people like this to actually being a sovereign being. That's really our work, right? So as a baby, you learn all of this and you learn like, oh, wow, to get attention from mom and dad, to get food, to get what I need, this is how I need to behave. This is what I need to do. This is how I please them in order to. You notice how much that like please them in order to thing has come up in this conversation? This is where it stems from. And so you're born into this cute body, but you're born genetically imprinted. From the moment of conception, you are energetically imprinted with whatever energy space your mom is in when she got pregnant with you, whatever energy space your dad was in when he got her pregnant. And then it spans back 7 generations. And it is written into your neurology. So many of us came in and we're this cute little baby in a cute little body. We got a whole lot of baggage already. Because we come from generations of people that didn't even know that they needed to do this work. So they definitely didn't do the work. And they passed their trauma, drama, bullshit down through the lineages. And we just don't need to live there anymore. Okay. So because of being a baby, you really seek external motivation, external validation. And then you grow up and you start to experience the world around you. You're introduced to media, you're introduced to TV and music and the culture around you. You go to school. Education plays its own role in really shaping who and what you are. I mean, they want to teach you to like sit in straight lines and be quiet. Don't listen to your body when you need to go potty because we're taking a test right now. Well, lunchtime is at this time, even though you're hungry now. Okay. And education's an interesting one. You guys, I used to teach elementary school and I don't teach anymore for a reason. I don't teach anymore because the education system was designed to create factory workers, not free thinking, creative individuals. And what do we need moving forward? We need free thinking, creative individuals. Okay, it actually kills imagination. And it is designed really for studious, good little girls. That's who's successful in school. So what about our boys that need more movement? What about our kids that are attention deficit? No, attention deficit disorder, are you kidding me? It's attuned differently to a higher dimension. They function differently. They're not having trouble keeping up. They're so freaking bored. They're on to a million other things already. Okay? You don't need to be fixed. You're not broken. That is your area of genius. So all that shit, like if you didn't fit into the education system, or even if you did, I was a perfectionist, don't need to be there anymore. Where was education affecting you? And then I'm going to come back one. I noticed I went fast and I asked you guys to write it down. This cultural control and programming. So what you pick up from your culture, and this might be your family, it might be like your group within your community. It might be extended family, depending on your family structure and how it was set up. So for me, when I was little, the cultural control and programming, I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house. They watched a lot of news programming. They watched a lot of daytime drama TV, like Days of Our Lives. Okay. I grew up listening to hip hop. I grew up hearing about what I should be doing with my body. And we wonder why Brooke was a slut for a stint. You know, I grew up with a workaholic dad that wasn't very available. Okay. And because he wasn't very available, and I would actually like scream and wake up in the middle of the night and eat waffles or pancakes at 2 a.m. because that's when I got to see my dad. What I didn't realize is that it set up this thing where I thought that I needed to be available for men in the middle of the night because that's when I could get attention from them. All right, so I really want you to dig in and I want you to look. I want you to really see. What music have you been listening to? What books have you been reading? What shows? All right. What patterns and programs are keeping me stuck? What beliefs do I keep on repeating? Gosh, we're coming up on election time. And, you know, in my family, this is a really interesting thing. In my family, like, no one ever weighed the issues. No one ever actually listened to the candidates. They just like blue till you're through or red till you're dead. And like, what a weird thing. Okay. Why are we like that? Because we live in a culture of people that don't actually think or go seek out information and make a choice for themselves. Okay, so really look at that. Really look at like what's true for me when I'm truthful to myself. And then where has my culture and where has the programming been keeping me from being true to myself? And I just don't need to participate in that anymore. We have a lot of cultures of people that keep people in that culture down. I used to when I taught, it was total culture shock. You guys, I grew up with a lot of trauma, but I grew up with money, and I lived in a big redwood house in the woods that had an indoor swimming pool. That's where I was born. We lived on 5 acres. My mom she earns like $750 a year now. We went on multiple vacations a year. I didn't want or need for anything. And I went and taught inner city. I went and taught where, and then I ended up living in poverty for a while personally and had a personal experience with it. But I really saw where the wealthier kids, gosh, their schedules were so jam-packed. They didn't have a damn moment to be a kid. They've got this class and that tutor and this school and that thing and whatever. Was that you? I was a latchkey kid. My mom was working, so I would come home and I was alone by myself. My mom would be at work and I'd be home alone. Was that you? My parents got divorced when I was 6. So I saw my dad every other weekend. Did you guys have some stuff like that? How did that affect you? When I was 10, my dad moved to Texas with a week's notice. He left. Threw me for a loop. When my kid was 10 and a half, I hit the road. I left. Probably threw him for a loop. That's the other piece. Like, where are we having an impact on the people around us? What's our ripple, right? And can we be honest about that? Take a look at it. What did you learn about relationships from your culture, from your family? What did you learn about well-being? What did you learn about health? What did you learn about finances? There's a whole bunch of disempowering crap that has gone on, you guys. You know, we've got cultures of people and groups of people, my family included, where, you know, if the dad decides to not be with the mom, then the mom badmouths the dad and doesn't let the kids see the dad. And what has that created? How many of us were culturally programmed to go to school and get good grades so we could get a degree, and now we're walking around with how much student loan debt? Right off the bat at freaking 18, 19, 20 years old. Got people that are paying on that forever. Is it serving you? What are your beliefs about money? Are you like Frank? Do you believe you're totally not lucky? Do you believe you're totally not worthy? Wow, holy shit, that's heavy. Everybody take a big deep breath. Everything that brought up through all reality, time, space, and dimension, blow it into a bubble. One more deep breath. And blow it up. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. Ready? Anything else that's left here? Anything that was brought up? Anything that brought up energy in this time, in this space, in this dimension, and in any other? Chuck it. Chuck it. All right. And then you don't really need to know where you want to go after this. Just begin to ask. Get curious. I wonder what else is possible. I wonder. When we jump to conclusion, that's another thing keeping you from your magic. You're jumping to conclusion. You think that things are going to be a certain way. You've decided it's already done. Your declaration is powerful. Okay, but if you can get into curiosity, you can keep the energy flowing. So a conclusion would be like, I can't afford it. And that is a declaration to the universe. And you know what? You're not going to make a liar out of yourself. So your wish is my command is what your higher self says. And sure enough, you can't afford it. Conclusions keep you stuck. However, if you can step into a space of curiosity, and I wonder what else is possible here. I wonder what else is available. What else could I choose? Okay, and then just let the energy flow and see what pops up. It'll pop up. All right? Remember, this is your conscious mind telling your unconscious mind to go look for what else might be possible. And your unconscious mind is a dutiful servant. It will bring you a response. Alrighty, tidy. Next one. Did that one. Oh, you guys, peer pressure and puberty. What wild jazz did you pick up from that? that's like still running your life. What a weird time to be alive, right? So go back and look at that. What programs did you pick up in peer pressure and puberty that are still controlling you? Blow it up, let it go. All right, this is a big one I want to talk about. Belonging and fitting in. How many of you at any point in your life have felt like, I just don't belong here? I totally don't fit in with these people. I really wish I could belong. How do I belong? Anybody else? Truth. Did you come here to belong? I'm seeing a bunch of people say no. What? Wait a minute. You didn't come here to belong? Truth, did you come here to fit in? Seeing people weigh it. Yeah, see how it feels for you. I came here to fit in. How does that feel? Nah, no. So isn't it really silly that for most of our lives, many of us have made it a priority to try to belong, to try to fit in with other people? There's an area where you've been deceiving yourself, isn't it? Y'all have been so worried about other people's opinions. Can't even talk right. Y'all have been so worried about other people's opinions, other people's problems, other people's personalities, fitting in with them, making sure that they think that you're okay. Truth, are you okay with you? Because you just admitted you didn't actually come here to belong or to fit in. You just admitted that doesn't matter to you. Okay, so when that mean girl in your head, by the way, even if you're a guy, it's a mean girl that's in your head yelling at you. Swampy ass feminine. Get back in your power, girl. Even the men, we all, male, female, we all have masculine and feminine energy within us, okay? And it is the swampy, I need to belong, I'm stuck in the trauma and drama, fire swamp chick that wants this shit. And she's been running the show and she's been pulling you out of your power because she's addicted to trauma and drama. Okay, now the masculine energy part of you, he wants to provide, he wants to protect, that's his mission. It's the masculine energy that goes out and actualizes what you are manifesting. It's that energy. Notice I'm saying energy. Inner, inside me, energy. Okay? But when the feminine energy is swampy as all get out and is worried about her trauma, drama, programming, fire swamp, belonging and fitting in BS, the masculine energy is like, yeah, I'm just not that attracted to your vibe right now. You know, you're not being the fullness of who you are. I really want to see all that you are. You're not being clear or direct with me with what you want, so I can't provide it. By the way, if you have relationships with the opposite sex in your life, they probably feel the same way. Okay? If you are a woman, the men in your life, however they relate to you, actually want to provide for you. They want to protect you, but they need you to be direct with them because they're not mind readers. Okay? And they need you to be speaking from a place of power and self-love. And when you can tap into that part of yourself, you become magnetic. There's a polarity that happens, a push and a pull that happens when you step out of this need to belong and fit in, and you just step into the truth of who you really are. The truth of who you really are, like, you are magic. You're not here to fit in. Fit in with what? With a broken system that has left people depressed, suicidal, angry, sick, broke. I'm so sure. Who wants to fit in with that shit? I don't. Gross. No, we're actually here to make something different. So don't worry about belonging or fitting in with a system that has been broken for all eternity. Don't worry about what they have to say about you either, you guys. I've been diagnosed all of the things in the book. I'm bipolar, I'm ADHD, I've had anxiety, I've had depression, I've had insomnia. They think I'm crazy and want me medicated. And yet I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm more powerful than I've ever been. I'm tapped into my purpose. I'm living my best life. I'm completely free. I am financially and time free. I do what I want, when I want, with who I want, for as long as I want, with no one to tell me no. That's actually why you're here, not to belong and to fit in, but to create your reality. Yours. Not somebody else's recipe, not somebody else's watered down version. Yours. Okay, so everywhere that you've been trying to belong and trying to fit in, deep breath, blow it out. Blow it up. Yep. All right. Then you'll get into dating and relating. And by the way, you show up in dating and relating and you bring all of your past baggage, all of your old programming, all the stuff from your family, you bring it up fresh, drag it along. Hi, here's me and all my baggage in this new relationship. Now here's the problem. Most people aren't consciously aware of the baggage that they bring with them. And they get into a relationship with another unconscious person, unawake person that has a whole bunch of baggage. And now my baggage is bumping up against your baggage, and we're not actually connecting because we've got 700 suitcases between us. And it's not even like suitcases of shit I need. I like packed dirty dishes. I brought socks that are crusty from last week. And here it is in our relationship. Okay, so you bring like all your perceptions about what a relationship looks like, what men are like, what women are like, what relationships are like. You got all this baggage around communication and holidays and family and how stuff should be handled and kids or no kids and what to do at the weekend. But you're unconscious of it and they're unconscious of it. And you expect, because I really love this other person, they're my other half. Gosh, I love them so much. You expect them to have the exact same baggage as you and the exact same perception as you. Why? Because you're addicted to belonging and fitting in. And you want to belong and you want to fit in with your partner. But your partner usually doesn't really want that. Your partner actually liked you for you and got into a relationship with you for that. But now because you're trying to belong with them and fit in with them and people please them, they don't get the best version of you. And neither do you. How's that for a doozy? I mean, like, really. You want to know why divorce rates are so high? It's because people were one thing when they got into a relationship. And then, like people do, they evolved. And the person that they're in a relationship with hasn't taken the time to get to know the new them. That's the other thing that can happen. Maybe you go and you work on releasing all your baggage and you drop off your dishes at the kitchen and you shed the suitcases and you start carrying a lighter load. But the people in your life, maybe still have a perception of you with all that baggage. Okay. So for me, this is not about like dating or relating. This is about my mom. Freud said, if it's not one thing, it's your mother. It's often my mother. Okay. My mom has this perception of me. I'm almost 33. I run several thriving businesses. I'm the president of an up and coming tech company. We're digital nomads. I'm totally free. We're like technically retired. I don't have to do anything. I just choose to. My mom still has a perception of me when I was 16, very recently, freshly traumatized, and numbing out with cocaine and heroin. That's the version of me that she still sees. She still sees the version of me that was lost and broken and bankrupt and divorced and unable to maintain healthy relationships. Okay, so for a lot of you, you're trying to belong and fit in with people that aren't even seeing the real you, the version of you that actually exists right now and in this moment. And so a lot of you will actually, you'll find if you're out building a business, and I know this is a coaching chat, not a business chat, but if you're out building a business and you're chasing your dreams, you'll actually find that strangers will support you more than the people that you thought would. Okay, so we expect our family, our friends to like support us, be with us, go into business with us. They're carrying around all that baggage around you. They won't do business with me because I'm a bankrupt drug addict whose other name is Brooklyn. I don't even own those heels anymore, y'all. And they might still have that perception of me. Okay. So it's really hard. And I guess what I'm saying here is like, if you guys have people in your inner circle that are still applying all your old baggage to you, even though you've moved beyond it, it might actually be time. You can't change them. I'll talk about this in a second. You can't change them, but you can change your circle. It might be time to stop spending so much time putting so much weight on what people who don't know you say about you. Okay. All right. What did you pick up about work and wealth? So my husband had a really interesting one. His mom used to tell him that if you want to make money, you're either going to do it with your back or with your brain. And so his brother is super duper book smart, like microbiologist, works with bacteria and viruses, and he's like one of the smartest people I know. And Patrick grew up around that. And Patrick is also super intelligent, but intelligent in a very different way, not so much book smart. I love you. You're really book smart now. He's expanded. He has neuroplasticity, but this was his story growing up compared to his brother. I heard him say, hey now. He's wildly intelligent, but he doesn't know microbiology. And so at some point he convinced himself that because my brain doesn't work like my brother's, he's going to go the brain route to produce wealth. And I better go the back route, which means I'm going to do hard physical labor. So what was your programming around this? For me, it was super confusing. My mom has owned her own business. She believes in building passive income. She believes in working smarter, not harder, creating leverage. Yet what she taught me, what she told me to do was the opposite. Get good grades, get a degree, get a big girl job. Brooke, why aren't you teaching in the classroom anymore? Well, because it ate me alive and I almost died and you make no money. Okay. Use your degree. I am right now. Psychology degree in action. Okay. What did you learn about work and wealth? Did you learn things about money like money doesn't grow on trees? There's never enough. It's always too much month at the end of my money. Did you learn maybe that money is easy? Abundance is my birthright. You guys go sit down and write down what are your current beliefs about this stuff on each of these categories. What's your current programming? And then just see how it makes you feel. If it makes you feel like shit, it's a lie. If you identify a lie, cool, blow it up. Now, the truth is often the exact opposite of a lie. Okay, so once you discover a lie, blow it up, and now get curious. If that's a lie, what could be true? So see how this one feels. I have to work hard for money. I have to work hard for money. Or I have to hustle for money. Ugh. You guys can see how I feel. I feel this like weird thing in my stomach happen where I kind of feel like I might barf. Ugh. It's not true for me. So if I have to work hard for money is not true for me, let's try out what the opposite is. Money comes to me easily and frequently. Oh. Well, wow, that made me feel tingly. My face is kind of tingly. The top of my head's kind of tingly. So just go check and see, like, what's actually true for you. Who gives a crap what was reality for your parents, their programming? What's true for you? All right. So a sovereign being knows if it's meant to be, it's up to me. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. They're not waiting around for someone else to give them some stimulus check so they can get caught back up. No, they're actively creating new forms of income. Okay? If it's meant to be, it's up to me. They're not waiting around for some leader to come add somebody to their team. They're actively taking action. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. You know what? You do this enough, people around you are actually going to want to help. They're going to want to come build. You'll begin to attract the right kind of people into your circle. They're going to help you get where you want to go. And others can help you, but ultimately it is your responsibility to create your life and the results that you seek. Nobody else's. And the moment that you make it anybody else's responsibility, the moment that you're like, no, you've got to do it for me, is the moment that you give that person your power. It's the moment that you hand over your sovereignty. Okay? If it's meant to be, it's up to me. No one can do my work for me. So this goes both ways. I've got to do the inner work. No one can do my inner work for me. No one can have these breakthroughs for me. No one can heal my body for me. No one can be a source of security for me but me. And you're responsible for what's inside your hula hoop. So like if you guys can just imagine you're holding the hula hoop around you. Newsflash, you cannot control anything outside the hula hoop. Not controlling that it's like snowy and rainy today. I'm not controlling when Sheena blinks her eyeballs. Okay? I can't control when someone's going to message me back or text me back or when this thing's going to take off. I can control what's inside my hula hoop. And there are a lot of things inside my hula hoop that I can't control. My stomach's probably digesting breakfast right now. I'm not controlling it. My heart is beating on its own. There are lots of things going on even within my hula hoop I have no control over. But what I do have control over is how do I react? What are my responses? How am I dealing with my baggage? How am I showing up? Okay? My hula hoop, my side of the street. A sovereign being knows, as I clean up my side of the street, which means I am honest, I am open-minded, and I am willing. I'm willing to be honest about who I've been, what I've been doing. I'm open-minded. I'm willing to try something different than what I've done before. And then I'm actually willing to go get uncomfortable. Cleaning up your side of the street might mean that when you look through this, you might realize who you've been being in relationships, and you might have some cleanup to do. It might be time to go have that conversation, make that amend, give that forgiveness. Okay? That's how you clean up your side of the street. I've done some crazy, crazy stuff in my life. I really am lucky to be alive. And I can tell you this is one of the most terrifying and liberating things I have ever done. I've worked the 12-step program a few different times, and you go through the list and you're honest and you're open-minded and you do a deep inventory, a deep, hard look at who I really have been. And we're doing that right now, okay? And then you share it with another closed-mouthed friend. You share it with someone safe. You get it out of you so you can be aware of it, so you can acknowledge it. There's so much magic just in like, bring it up and talk about it. Gosh, you got shoes, I got shoes, we got issues, right? Thanks, atmosphere. When you get to work on this stuff though, like most of the reason why you've got blocks, why you've got stuff in the way, is because you did something a while ago that you're actually ashamed of, that you feel guilt over, but you haven't done anything to clean it up or to make it right. And so it like from behind the scenes, and it erodes your self-confidence and it pulls you out of the present moment. And so if you actually like turn and look at this little voice, and you're like, hey, oh, right. Gosh, that person lended me money. I said I'd pay them back. I never have. That's been eating at me. How could I remedy it? Let me pay them back now. Done. Or maybe it's like, gosh, I really hurt that person and I just was avoiding them. But I could go make an amend now, and I could own my behavior and my part. And you know what you do when you go do that? Most people are like, wow, thank you so much for that. And then you get to have it be done. Okay, so go clean up your side of the street. And some of it might just be you need to forgive yourself. A lot of the crap you're beating yourself up for, like other people don't even remember it. They're like, you did that? Okay, you like made some mistake, or you said something, or you didn't do something, and they're like so busy with their own lives they don't even remember, but you're like beating yourself with the baseball bat over it. Clean that stuff up, because that's the stuff that actually keeps you out of your power and keeps you from creating your life. Okay, you guys, you get this stuff cleaned up, and what's going to happen is your energy is going to become so clear and so pure and so authentically you. I've got chills right now. This is the truth. You are not going to be able to stop your blessings, not anybody else's, your blessings, your divine inheritance, your purpose, your plan. You are not going to be able to stop it. You're going to be going about your life, enjoying the present moment, having a blast, and you're going to look over and you're going to meet the right person at the right time, in the right moment, with the right message, and the resources will appear. And that's what I want everybody to have here on this planet. Okay. All right. Well, this was fantastic. Thank you guys for diving in. It's so cool. The people, it's really wild right now. 3 of you have rainbows behind you. Big transformation energy, big completion energy, big things shifting. Okay. You don't have to have a reality that looks like anybody else's. You get to have your reality. All right. So before we hang up this call, I'm going to give you one last little tool that has really shifted my existence. For all of you like super empaths out there, all you mega aware people, y'all, you can return their shit to sender. When you become aware of somebody else's crap energy, you can package it up in a nice little box for them with awareness attached, and you can jet it on over to them. And hopefully it'll hit them like a ton of bricks, or like a 2x4 upside the head, and it'll snap them out of their shit. But at least it won't be like in your energetic space anymore. Whatever they choose to do with it, they're sovereign beings. Okay, and then the last one is, whose reality am I in anyway? If you're feeling like shit, well, that's a sign you're living in a lie. So whose reality am I living in anyway? And what happens for us, like super empath people that went through some trauma stuff early in life, it's a superpower, but it's a blessing and a curse. We have a tendency to be so aware of other people's energy, we think it's our own. What if it's not? Whose reality am I in anyway? And then you can just say, like, blast back to my reality, please. Yeah, learn to observe, not absorb. Observe, don't absorb. You don't need to take it on. Okay? Like, I really don't like mustard. Other people can have mustard on their sandwich. I'm not going to. I can observe them having mustard without absorbing the gross flavor of it. Weird analogy. I think you get the hit. Okay? All right. Yeah. Okay, well, I hope that everybody had a blast today. Thanks for tuning in. I know this was a super long call. Thanks for being willing to dive deep. I don't like to do, I like to just let these take as long as they need to take. So thank you for being here. If you apply this, you're going to have a whole new reality. You're going to have a whole new reality. And thank you for being willing to sit with some uncomfortable energy, for being willing to take a look at yourself, and for being willing to be you, your magic. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great day.